Alright, just as a disclaimer, for some reason, this is annoying. Whenever I start my recording software, the frame rate is just terrible. So at the beginning of the video, I don't know how I'm gonna fix this, just the frame rate is trash, you're gonna see that. Stick around, I guess. It'll fix itself. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this happens. Alright, yeah, enjoy the video. Hi, I'm Sight. This is the first video that I'm probably not gonna delete on my channel. There were a lot of videos I had on here that I deleted, don't worry about it. So yeah, the first video is also the first addition to the series that I'm gonna have started. This is gonna be the first, I guess, series I actually go through with on this channel called Xeno Analysis, how to get good. And what this is just gonna be about is basically, you send me clips to review all this stuff, and when I review it, I'll record myself reviewing it, tell you what you did wrong and what you could do better and all this stuff. And yeah, just basically I help you towards whatever playstyle you want. I mean, everybody plays differently. I understand that. If you want to tell me how you play and all that stuff, go ahead. If not, then I'll just go ahead and tell you, different ways to get out of different situations and stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with this one. I have watched this before. I actually recorded this once and the audio was too loud and there was too much wrong. Hopefully there's not going to be so much wrong this time. I'm hoping. The frame rate kept dropping. We're just going to keep watching. We're just going to keep going. Okay. So this is two female Saiyans going against each other. Both people don't really have any easy combo cancels, so we're going to see. Well, you'll see. So right there at literally just at the start, two things I want to talk about. One, okay, I have to pause before I do that. So, I actually have to learn how to use this moving better. So, the biggest thing is you flew straight, you flew over to them on a big map at the start of a fight. Flying wastes stamina, so you kind of don't want to, boost dashing, I guess it's called. That wastes stamina, so try not to do that all the way to your opponent. You could do it a little bit to close the gap, see what they're doing. But you want to make sure, you're kind of step dashing or step vanishing towards them. That way you don't really lose as much. Or hell, you could just slowly move. Why does my headset keep dying? Okay, anyway, but you could slowly move toward them. You can do whatever. Just make sure, hey, hell, if they're charging, make sure to interrupt it by shooting some key blasts, all that stuff. You don't really want to just give the opponent time to do what they want, but at the same time, you need to get close to them to start the fight. So yeah, or maybe you're the type to actually do the charging and stuff, and this is just time you didn't do it. I don't know. That's up to you. Everybody plays how they want. So you fly straight towards them, and right off the bat, you decide to try to fly in. You didn't, okay, you flew all the way over there, so they can process the fact that you're flying. Meaning, if you don't stop flying, you're probably going to attack them. That's just kind of how Xenoverse works, and it's worked like that since Xenoverse 1. And when you do that, you're basically saying, I'm trusting in this, fly-in square to hit. I'm going to go ahead and blah, blah, blah. If they decide to dodge backward to the side or even perfect block you, that basically just completely ruins your pressure. These headphones keep dying and reconnecting in my ear. I'm taking them off. So, yeah, you basically, the whole point of, what was I saying? Yeah, the whole point of a fly-in square is to catch people out of certain animations, or to just, if they're, trying to back up and you feel like you can hit them, you can. You're not really supposed to lead off with that unless you know for a fact it'll hit. And right here, is a proving factor of it not hitting. So let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, so they vanished. You tried to back hit, they didn't connect. That's fine. Oh, hold up. Let me actually. Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, my bad. I was looking at your stamina trying to figure out how you wasted, but I remember. Okay, you guys clash. That's pretty good for the both of you. Okay, they're blocking. Ooh, I forgot about that. So, what you did right there, you were hitting them with square hits. That's totally fine on their guard. You have to expect them to move off of their guard because, I believe it's the 5th hit of every square combo in the game, or most square combos in the game. Yeah, those will, at the 5th hit, people can get out of that. Or hell, even I think before, I don't really remember entirely. Just know that they'll be able to slip out of your combo. You shouldn't really ever try to charge a triangle hit either. Because if somebody sees you charging a triangle, I'm sorry, they're just going to move. Unless they're like Bojack or something. Even Bojack, I think, can get out of that situation. But if you're just charging a triangle, no one's just going to sit there for the full duration of the triangle just for you to charge it. Because that's a lot of time to register. Oh my god. They even move beforehand, actually. So, That's another thing. But never like just charging a triangle just kind of leaves you in an awkward spot where if they wait for the triangle to be done, they don't get hit by it. They can possibly punish it if they get you before the charge or in the middle of hits. They can counter you. They can key stun you. They could do a lot to you. So you don't really want to be in this situation. This is very, one, inappropriate. Oh my God. And two, yeah, that's just a terrible spot in general. Okay. Oh, also for ways to get out of it, if you are caught in this, you can 1-bar vanish, just use a bar of stamina to appear behind them, which is not a bad idea. It wastes your stamina, so you can't do it a lot. You could use a move if you have one, which looking at this video last time, I don't think you like to run any moves that are that are counters. So having a counter on deck is kind of just not an option for you. Also, you don't really have any high movement options. Like you can't just triangle out of the way from your square hits like some races can. So that's also a hindrance. I mean, don't see it as the end of the world like other people do. That's a really bad mindset, but you have less options here. Doesn't mean you're bad. Doesn't mean your character's bad either. Let's continue. Okay, so they hit you out of your charge. You decided to vanish and hold your guard, which is a great idea. Hold on, let me go back to it. That's a great idea to hold your guard after vanishing, because you don't know whether or not they're gonna try to hit you with a back hit. You don't know whether or not they're gonna do anything. You don't know unless it's a time skip backbreaker, which usually within the first 2 or 3 times of you vanishing, people will let you know they have backbreaker by doing it. So, I mean, don't really stress that too much, I guess, unless they actually have it. Then you have to be scared of what you do beforehand. But yeah, so what they decided to do was they stepped into you, and they actually stepped through you. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, they stepped through you on accident, and you decided to let go of your guard, which letting go of your guard, if you just the time to let go of your guard when somebody's coming towards you is when they're about to attack and you just want to step dash. So that's your best bet. I mean, of course, you probably already know that with how much you play the game, because a step dash gives you invincibility frames. You don't want them to hit you. And you're basically the whole point is to line up your step dash with their first attack, so you know whether or not you can counter attack, go back to blocking, or even use a counter. So those are your 3 options for that. Or hell, there's nothing wrong with just backing up and getting some space either. Like 1 or 2 step vanishes are pretty good for just regaining your composure and all that stuff. They have to kind of chase you, so that breaks up their pressure a little bit. They have to stop attacking to get closer. And if they don't stop attacking, you can punish them with an assortment of moves. Like you can dote on Ray and go in because they don't want to stop attacking. You could go back in and block them if they perfect block them if they don't want to stop attacking. A lot of people hate this, but this is what key stuns are used for, to get people to stop attacking the air. You know what I'm saying? So you could use that. You could probably sometimes step vanish square, sometimes, depending on who you're playing against. There are many different things you can do. It just all depends on what you decide to do. Let's go ahead and continue this. So they're hitting you. All right. Okay, that's an issue. So right there, when you got caught off your vanish, you got caught after vanishing. The reason why is because you decided to fly, you see? And yes, you could say netcode, oh my God, connection, oh my God, hitboxes. But a big thing is, on their screen, you didn't fly that far, so they just kind of hit you. What you want to do, instead of deciding to literally fly away from your opponent, is to use something that gives you iframes and distance if you want to go away. So, stepping backward, step vanishing backward, using some kind of move, it's whatever you want to do. The whole point is don't ever just try to fly away, because that's just going to get you caught in the end. It's, you just kind of get used to it after 2 years of playing Xenoverse. So just, you don't want to directly fly away from somebody because that's just unsafe in general. It takes time to start up a dash. So unless you're just using the iframes from starting it up, you don't want to do that. And it takes it takes some frames to stop, like some recovery frames to stop dashing, unless you step vanish out of it. So that's up to you on if you want to use that. It's a very bad idea. Somebody just joined the party that I'm in, and his name is Y Shaku Star. What? Okay, we're not going to oh man, I want to see who that is, but I'm recording a video. Anyway, back to this. You stepped around them, hit them. That's pretty good. Pretty good punish. They didn't stop attacking you, so you're basically just draining their stamina at this point. But then what you tried to do right there was, hold up. Okay, you tried to, burning slash them. They stepped out of it and hit you. That is unfortunate, Hold up, let me actually see how it happened. Oh, never mind that. Don't burning slash somebody's guard. That burning slash is punishable. So you doing that is basically like saying I'm gonna go ahead and keep hitting their guard, but if you like even let up for a small amount or do it at a certain time in which they can move out, then yeah, you can't burn. I actually don't even know how you burning slash their guard because I don't even think that you can do that. So maybe that, I don't know, that was just weird. Don't ever try to try to add that on with guard pressure, because if you don't actually hit somebody with the burning slash and they're guarding it, then they can move before you do. So that's a very bad idea. Don't ever try to do that. Let's see, they're doing triangle combos. Oh, big boy damage. Okay, I see them. They knocked you down. Oh, okay. So oh, here, I'll let this play out because I remember that. That was a very good prediction right there. I don't know if that was a prediction or you just did that. You probably wanted to Miracle Kneel into Super Drain, which is a really good. Oh, sorry, Drain Charge, which is really good for people that rely on Ki, of course. Really good for people that like to stay in your face because that punishes them for not thinking while they attack. That's really good. But yeah, so you Miracle Kneel on a hit that kind of wouldn't have hit you. Well, like, okay, it's hard to explain. That little kick down that sort of pushes them backward a little bit. It's not noticeable. It really pushes, like, it's just hard to explain. So when you Miracle Kneel right there, it doesn't exactly hit them. But he was thinking he hit it, so he decided to Savage Strike. And female saying square, triangle. I don't think you can, at that height in the map, doing a double tap Savage Strike probably wouldn't have connected anyway. So they probably were just mashing and wanted to do the single button Savage Strike. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Either way, you needed to, the getting away on that knockaway was good because that Savage Strike was going to put you in a worse spot. What was I going to say? Yeah, so you Miracle Kneel. They didn't exactly hit them, but you got the Drain Charge. That's really good. And you combo off the Drain Charge and make them one advantage. That's really good. They have no Ki, no stamina. So theoretically, you should be able to just kind of catch them and get the job done. But we'll see what happens. That they'll probably be able to survive one more. Oh, actually, you clashed. Let me talk about that. So clashing. What clashing does is basically that's a reset in pressure. If someone's pressuring you and they're gonna hit you, and you decide to press an attack button also, then that of course forces a clash. That's really good for you if you're being pressured. Really bad for the person pressuring you because, as you see right now, you have the stamina advantage. You have 2.5 bars. They have 1.5 bars. You decide to clash. You both gain a bar of stamina from the clash and a bar of Ki, meaning since they have another bar of Ki, they have the option to counter you if they so desire. They also get that extra bar of stamina back, so they have enough time to, they have enough resources just to vanish once and get out of like one of your attacks. That's an extra from before. That's pretty bad, of course. You have to do a little bit more work to wear them down even more, to punish them to hit them with either high damage or stamina break them, whichever one you want to do. So, wait, who keeps joining my parties? I'll talk about that later. I'll look at that later, I guess. But yeah, let's see. You knock them down. That powerful combo should have connected, I think. I'm not sure. Xenoverse is a Xenoverse sometimes. Okay, you did not get hit by that burst rush. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, so let me bring that back a little bit. They burst rushed. You kind of delayed you probably didn't realize what you did, but you flying around like that sort of delayed what your entry. Okay, so I know I'm messing up on my words right now, but so they burst rush because they expected you to do a step vanish square, like either backward or straight towards them riskily, and square right after this. But instead, what you decided to do was fly around and hit them, which I mean, in this case would have been viable. In any other case, flying and like hitting them with the square is just a terrible idea, just because it's very obvious you have a gigantic blue aura around you. And if you're close to somebody with a gigantic blue aura, you're probably going to attack them. So what people will do is either one, go on the defensive with either blocking or maybe even a counter, a later counter than what that guy did, or they'll just hit you out of it if they know you're not going to hit them. So you flew in, you stunned them. That's pretty good. They vanished. They're at you clashed again. Either way, you could still probably Okay, you clashed again. So they have 2 bars of stamina. That's fine, because you have a lot more than them. So you still have the control here. No matter the slight difference in health. You know, that health only matters if you get hit. So, let's see. Okay, so they just basically... hold on, how did you get hit right here? Let's see. Okay, so I think you were just flying around again. Don't fly around like that. That gets you caught, as you see. Just don't do it. Unless you're unless you're aiming to fly away from your opponent at a safe distance, do not do that. Or maybe even fly towards to get distance, but you need to make sure they don't punish you off of just flying like that. You're letting that happen a little too much. Okay, so they're hitting you. You vanish, hold your guard. That was a really, really risky spot to vanish just because you couldn't see what was happening. What I would have done, since, you know, they are low stamina, what I would have done is just let them, you know, take me out of this really bad area and then, you know, continue to fight somewhere else. Anyway, so you vanished, held your guard, all that stuff. They're back on your guard with the triangle combo, actually. And that's one of the worst situations to be in on guard against a female Saiyan, just because they can move just as well as you can. And because of that, you didn't really factor that in. You tried to punish her after she moved. So she just kind of stepped and then punished you off of that, as you see. You know, it's just kind of stacking on layers and layers. So next time, instead of doing that, I would just say, you know, after getting off of your block, they're going to come back in. So just tap your block one more time to, you know, give them that idea of, okay, I can't just keep hitting this person, or I'm going to end up getting, you know, perfect blocked. Or you could throw in a counter, like I always say. That's really good against people like this that you're playing. You could, you know, do some kind of move that has invincibility frames, because they love running into you. You know, that just gets them to... You want to do things that get them to, you know, give you your own personal space or get punished for it. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're not doing any of this stuff is kind of bad, and that's mostly the reason on why you're like losing. I mean, of course, health-wise you're losing. Stamina-wise, theoretically you shouldn't be, but the choices you make kind of push you towards the losing side. We're gonna keep going. So yeah, they're hitting you. Okay. So you Miracle Kneel and Burning Slash. That's really good for just burst damage. 1, this didn't even out the health, and 2, okay. So that would have been great to finish someone off with, but if you know you're not going to finish them with the Burning Slash, you might as well not even do that finishing hit unless you're just trying to get the health lead or whatever and push them away. With what you're doing right now, it makes sense, but you would have been better off not doing the blast and continuing the combo with your basic attack. That way you can push them to want to vanish more. Because, you know, right now, you have a 1.5 bars of stamina and they have 2.5. You need to get them to waste that too. Or just take a lot of damage if they want and just keep their stamina. You know, you don't ever want to put it in the weird spot. So, you know, there's the reset. Everybody's fine. You decided to fly in and square, which I already got onto you about. It's whatever. You wanted to grab. I don't know where... That grab would have been nice if you did it earlier. So if you flew in, instead of going for the square, if you flew in, canceled it with, like, you know, a step dash and decided to grab, that definitely would have hit them, because you see they went to block. They're used to you they're used to you running in, so they just start blocking. So, you know, you guys, okay, that was a good perfect block. That right there, I saw you had Justice combination earlier. I hate this move. That probably would have been perfect to do right there. Hell, a stamina break would be perfect to do right here. Okay, you do that. They vanished that because... well, they gained a lot of stamina from that, like, single combo. Okay, so they were at half a bar. They gained a fair amount of stamina from those hits. So I would say, since I don't really play female Saiyan a lot, those little multi-kicks right there, try to keep from doing that, just because of how much stamina they legit just gain back off of that one animation. You know, how are you supposed to punish somebody if they gain back that? Like, they just basically gain back over half a bar of stamina within those few kicks. So doing that probably isn't the best idea, unless you're just trying to, like, be like, screw stamina, I'm just going to keep the combo up and kill you kind of thing, which, you know, you didn't really do that. Well, we'll see if you really do that, I should say. They vanished. They didn't account for the fact that you're invincible during that. They took the hit. They really could have hit you with a burst rush, but they probably didn't know what was happening, because Xenoverse Online is hard to understand. Okay, so they flew away. You could have 1-bar vanished and stamina broke like a boss if you saw that connect, you know. But you didn't. That's fine. That's totally fine. It happens. They hit your guard. Oh, okay. So you stepped around them at the 3rd hit. So maybe it's like the 3rd hit that you can step around. Anyway, so you got punished for that. because of the fact that they already knew you were going to step out of your combo. Like, what you did in this exact same situation in the beginning of the game was instead of, like, you know, giving them something to run into or whatever, you decided to charge a hit to get them off of their guard. Or maybe it was just a bait. I don't know. Either way, it didn't really work out. You want something that scares people into wanting to try to, that scares people into wanting to either disengage or push them to do something stupid. Which right here, you know, no offense, that was extremely stupid. Just kind of, you know, you knew they had burst rush, so you decided to step around and just kind of hit them. And because of that, they used that burst rush to counter that. I believe Savage Strike? Yeah, that would have been a good combo. Right there, you should be dead because they could just... Okay, yeah, super explosive way. They did that very late, so thank goodness you're alive, but I think you got hit, so... Yep, that's just kind of how that goes. That was just a lot of not punishing them correctly and not knowing how to get them off of you. That's really the whole fight right there. So this next fight... You know, that... I hate when people just fly in and hit each other with a square hit. Like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I know this distance also doesn't make sense. You could, you know, cry about that all you want. But flying in general is just a bad idea because of, you know, how the game works online. You never want to do that. But hey, you know, you can do whatever you want in the game. And I don't know. That's not really one of the best ways. If you're giving me a video to review, you damn well better be doing all that you can to make sure, you know, you can win. I'm not telling you to, put on every single move that you know is cancer. Well, do what you want, you know, but also make sure you're helping yourself while you're at it. Flying into square is a really bad idea. Okay, so they converted to triangle, so you vanished. That was pretty good because you were going to take a lot of unneeded damage at the beginning of the fight, so it doesn't matter. I'm talking really fast, my bad. So that's just, you guys are brawling, you know. You're pretty much in the lead right now. Like, it's hard for them to punish. Oh, good back hit. They're not making the right choices to your aggression. They tried to backflip randomly. They should have done that way earlier. Okay, so you caught them off of the meanest back hit. Hit that. You really could vanish and... Okay, well, you could have, like, you know, one bar vanish and stamina broke. I don't personally stamina break. That's just not me. But, you know... Well, I mean, I occasionally do, but whatever. That would have been a good punish. But I guess it makes sense because I don't know if you have the moves or whatever to kill them from this health, and plus they have a limit burst, so maybe stamina breaking wasn't the best option. But, you know, either way, it's whatever. You transform. Transforming is also good. But one thing you did do that I don't really approve of is just data input as a whole. Oh, and remember you have Sonic Kick. That's a really good move for getting out of things. But you use data input. Data input is very trash. It's a very, very trash move. That I don't know why they made this move so bad. I think they were just scared of it being too good. But yeah, so data input, that only really helps you against basic attack and a few strikes. Everything else can hit you. The fact that you did this basically just kind of wasted time and makes them want to hit you with more key stuns. The reason, I don't know if this person plays like that, but the reason why I say key stuns is because if you shoot someone with a single key blast and go in, you know, that defeats data input. I'm not saying it's broken or OP. I don't really care for either, but I'm just saying, you know, if somebody were to approach you with a key stun and you were expecting to dodge, that's terrible, you know. That's really, I don't know. Maybe you have some kind of other thing that you want to do with it. I don't really approve of the move because, you know, you could have done a lot more to keep up pressure and stuff like that. And this only really helps if they try to back hit you. Let me see. So they decide to not vanish. They decide to transform. So you decide to punish the transformation with an evil flame. If you went in to try to hold a triangle, then they would have stepped away. You could have, like, after holding a triangle, you could have hit that Sonic Kick you have, but yeah, I don't know. You just decided evil flame, which is also good. You know, that's a very good punish. You don't really get to combo off of it, but it's still very good. You hit them. You should, by the way, if you want to, when you hit evil flame, press the button, like after you connect it with your opponent, press it again to cancel it. That way, you know, you don't have to sit there and do the whole evil flame animation. You guys back in neutral. They held their guard because they saw you coming in, but one, you didn't. Okay, let me actually go back so people can see. Okay. One, after you came in, you stepped in the complete wrong direction right there. Like, you stepped off to the left. I mean, yes, you stepped forward, probably intending to sidestep. but instead you stepped all the way off in there, and because of that, that really messed up your square hits. And they saw you were square hitting, so they decided to try to get that just guard. You weren't close enough to you weren't close enough for you to get the just guard. My bad. And because of that, right now they just knew, okay, well, I can grab them. Even if you try to key cancel right here, they can still grab you. So that's just kind of a win-win for them. They decided to grab you, which is just the very safe option. They had a bunch of other ways they could handle that situation, but that was the safest. So they grab you, throw you down. They decide to, wait it out. They're probably getting their stamina back, which, they'll need to in Super Saiyan 3 because of how hard it is to get stamina. You ran up and hit them because I guess they just weren't ready. They were attacking the complete wrong direction. I think right now they're just panicking. You hit them. Okay, so they have no stamina, and you predicted the vanish. Can I talk today? I don't think I can. So you predicted the vanish. They backflipped. So they backflipped in guard. So they were expecting you to continue the assault. Good thing you didn't, because that would have been a free perfect block. They really shouldn't have limit bursted right there, but hey, the next time you catch them, you're probably going to kill them. Okay, that's some big boy damage. Okay, that is some large boy damage. Right there. Okay. So, right there is, they decided to do a Divine Retribution and do the flip. Obviously, to anybody that, has been playing for a while and, has been using the move, they'll know that this won't connect. So maybe they just put the move on. Maybe they don't play the game much. It's whatever. Either way, once they do that flip, you can punish that after you recover because, they, of course, can't immediately get out of the move. But I don't think you punished them right there because of how long you took. You decided to fly and then you curved in. It was just way slower than just doing a step vanish square. So you didn't, whatever. Did they just guard it or did they just guard? Did they just guard it or did they just guard it? But anyway, yeah, they just guarded it. You tried to step, they grabbed you. That's fine, I guess. It's whatever. Right there, they're like really trying to backflip to save their lives, but they don't know how to. You caught them. That's a stamina break, I believe. Yep. And that's basically you win. That's your victory lap. You can do whatever, call them trash for using backflip. I don't care. I don't really see backflip as bad, but other people do. You meteor crashed them for the win, and yeah, that's it. And that was a really, you seem like you picked yourself up from the last fight, which is really good. Maybe that last fight was just a bad thing for you. You weren't feeling it at the beginning, and because of that, it just kind of failed. Sometimes that happens, But for the biggest part, you definitely don't want to let people just keep aggressing you. You don't want them to just keep hitting you. That's a very bad spot. If you can't punish their hits, the more they hit you, the more they hit you, the more of a chance for, how am I going to word this? The more they attack, the more of a chance they have to hit you. If you can stop them from attacking or make them not want to attack, then they don't have as many chances to hit you. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to do things like have a counter on your set. I saw you had Beam Sword Slash on that set. That didn't really synergize with the moves that you had, per se. So having a counter like Sudden Death Beam. Okay, Sudden Death Beam is really good against people that can't cancel easily. That's very good for them. You want to run maybe Godbreaker or Burst Rush. Godbreaker is the hardest out of the three, right, that I just said. Rough Ranger is trash, but you could use that. There are many different things you can do. Pressure Sign, whatever floats your boat, They basically, with the way the moves work, the more you can predict them, the more damage it does. So Godbreaker, being the hardest to use out of all of them, does the most damage outright. But then at the same time, Burst Rush is really quick. You can combo off of Burst Rush if you have the stuff necessary, or if you're just close enough to the ground. So it all depends on what you want, for the most part. You had it right to begin with. There were just some options, some decisions that you made that made no sense. But I told you what to do to counter those decisions and all that stuff. You seem like you're competent, of course. Yeah. You don't seem too bad. That's all I really have to say. Make sure you actually use the moves that you have. I know Justice Combination is a hated move, but if you have it on your preset, you were probably intending to use it. And that was the best time to use it back then when they were really low on stamina. Maybe they could have gained back some stamina and hit you. But there are still times where you can do it, There's that. Yeah, just for the most part, make sure you compensate for your weaknesses. Female Saiyans can't cancel easily. So doing things like using your moves really help, especially since they excel in Ki Blasts and basic attack. getting really close, hitting somebody with some, like, with some basic and knocking them away for a blast is really good. So, you could burst rush into Savage Strike, get a good combo in after that, and then hit them with a blast to send them away. It's just something, keep it simple if you want at first. Just stuff like that. That's all I'm really saying. You don't really have to do too much, but at the same time, a little bit can go a lot. Can take you far. That's really all I'm saying, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Hopefully, I make another one of these, which I'm pretty sure I will. To make sure you actually give me clips to review. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.